and welcome. My name is Stacey and I'll be guiding you through this 1 hour relax and unwind practice. If you have them at home, you can have a block or two and a yoga strap nearby, but they are not required for this practice. You can go ahead and get what you need, and I'll meet you on your mat in Shavasana. Take a moment here to find your way onto your back. Send your feet and arms wide away from your body. Just begin to settle in. Allow yourself to land on your mat, letting go of any external distractions that may be pulling you away from your practice today. Take a big breath in through your nose, let your belly rise up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, soften, let it go. Big breath in, belly rise. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, belly rises and expands. Exhale as you melt deeper and deeper into your mat. Taking just a few more of those slow rhythmic breaths at your own pace. Start to awaken the body by wiggling fingers and toes. Find some gentle rotations through your wrists and your ankles in both directions. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat and draw your knees in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers around the shins or the thighs. You can take a gentle rock from one side to the other, just massaging your low back and pelvis. Find stillness in the center. Let the soles of your feet find the floor. You can walk your feet over to the right side of the mat so your knees are still bent. Your hips are in the center, but the feet walk over to the right of it. Extend your arms up overhead. Keep the hips centered as you start to walk the arms to the top right corner of the mat as well. Creating a bit of a side stretch of the left side body. You can always take hold of opposite elbows if you don't have room to extend the arms long. With the knees bent here, extend the left leg long to the bottom right corner. Really exaggerating that C shape of the left side of your body. Not working for you, you always have the option to extend the right leg long, let it join the left at the bottom right corner. If the knee is bent and you'd like to go a little bit deeper, start to tip over onto the inner arch of the right foot. So the right knee is beginning to tip in towards the midline until the right thigh comes to rest on top of the left leg. A stretch here into the outer left hip and left waist. You can always adjust by drawing the upper body more to the right to go a little deeper, or going back towards the center to ease off just a little bit. finding your own depth in this pose. Just meeting your body where it is today. Whichever position you have chosen, start to slide the upper body back through center. Bring the sole of the right foot back onto the floor. Bend the left knee to meet it. Heel toe the knees through center. Lift your hips up, give them a sway from side to side. Just find your neutral position before lowering them back down. The hips are centered. Knees are bent. Start to walk the feet over to the left side of your mat this time. The right hip stays grounded in the center or slightly to the right of your mat. Then start to walk your upper body over to the left side as well. Maybe this is as far as you choose to go. You can stay as you are, or you can extend the right leg long to the bottom left corner. Taking a moment in each layer of this pose to listen to your body and see what it is asking for. If this is a little too much, you can extend the left leg long to meet the right. Or you can start to tip over onto the inner arch of the left foot, bringing the inseam of the left hand leg onto your right thigh. Find this is too much in the shoulders, you can always bring the right arm down at your side. Just extend the left arm over to the left. And vice versa. Depending on where in your body you hold that tension. Few more breaths here on this side. And then whatever order works for you, maybe sliding the upper body over first, bending the knees, then walking to the center. However you get there, find your neutral position. Maybe pressing down through the feet, swaying your hips from side to side before lowering them back down. Hugging the knees in towards your chest. With the knees drawn in towards you, maybe we begin to draw some circles with the knees. Both directions. Find your center. Let the sole of your left foot land on the floor, reach the right foot up towards the ceiling. You can interlace your fingers behind the right thigh. If you find that your shoulders are lifting, the legs a little bit too far away, you can always use a strap here to make that accessible. Adding length to your arms by setting the strap behind your thigh or over the right foot. Keep a bend in your left leg today. Let the sole of the left foot rest on the floor as you work through stretching the back of the right leg. The right hip is reaching away from your shoulders and down into the mat as you hug the right thigh in a little bit closer towards you. You can have as much or as little bend as you like in the right leg as long as you're feeling that stretch. Every few breaths, just challenge yourself. See if you found enough space, enough softness to go deeper into your stretch. maintain the stretch up the back of the right leg. At the same time, we're going to start to draw the toes of the right foot up towards the sky. So reach the big toe up towards the ceiling. Bringing the stretch down to a little bit more into the front of the right leg, the right ankle and foot. That right hip keeps pressing into the mat as the big toe on the right foot reaches up high. Draw the toes once again towards your face, deep flex in the ankle. We're going to turn the toes of the right foot to the right side of the room. Bend at the right knee, bring the pinky toe edge of the right foot to land on your left thigh, creating a figure 4 shape with your legs. Ground down through your left hip. You can even use your left hand on the left hip to ensure it stays in stillness. Deep flex in the right ankle as you direct the right knee away from your hip towards the bottom of your mat, so away from your shoulders, without shifting your left hip. If you're still not feeling a stretch into the outer right hip and glute, option here to draw the left knee in towards you, take hold of the back of the left thigh, or maybe even the left shin. Can you do so without lifting the tailbone off the mat? You can play with the weight from your left hip to the right hip. Just see where you feel the stretch most. And slowly, mindfully, barely even visible movements as you walk from side to side, pausing where you feel that tension. Slowly release the left foot if you've drawn the left leg in. Keep the right leg just as it is. Keep the figure 4 position of your legs. Your arms can extend out wide or come into cactus formation. Lengthen through your spine and then slowly direct the knees over to the right. You're coming onto the inner arch of the left foot. Left hip is going to start lifting up off the ground and over to the right a little bit as the left knee reaches down towards the mat. You can use the right foot as a little bit of added weight on the left knee, but never being forceful. Gaze can be up at the ceiling or over to the left. Gaze comes back through center. The knees will follow. Release the right foot onto the ground to meet the left. And give the knees a gentle sway from side to side. Once you feel even on both sides, extend the left foot up towards the ceiling. Take hold of the back of the right leg with a deep flex in the left, or rather the left leg. Take a deep flex into the left ankle. Your toes are drawn towards your face. You square up your pelvis here. The right hip is going to want to reach away from the shoulders. The left hip's going to creep up towards them. Can you direct the left hip away from the shoulders and firmly into the mat? Make sure that the pinky toe edge and the pinky toe edge and big toe of the left foot are approaching your face at the same rate. Your foot is not crooked. You can play with the bend in your knee, finding that point where you feel stability but also a stretch. Balance of effort and ease. Stretch in the back of your left leg as you start to point the left toes up towards the sky this time. Really reaching through the big toe, pressing firm through the left hip. Like mine is starting to quiver and quake, you can always ease off a little bit, draw a little bend into the knee. We're going to flex the ankle once again. Turn the toes to the left. Bend the left knee, bring the pinky toe edge to rest on the right thigh. Create a figure four shape with your legs for reclined pigeon. Square up your hips with your shoulders. Without shifting the right hip, direct the left knee away from the left shoulder. Keep pressing the pinky toe edge of the left foot into the right thigh. So the sole of your left foot should be facing the right side of the room, not tipping towards your face. Maybe you choose to draw the right knee in towards you, take hold of the back of the right thigh or the right shin. Of the right thigh here. Shifting it in towards the midline and then slightly out towards the armpit or shoulder. Just pause where you feel the stretch most. More breaths here in this position. Slowly lower the right foot onto the mat. Take your arms in cactus formation or extend them wide at your sides. The legs stay in that figure four position. Start to tip over to the left. right hip's going to lift up and over to the left as the inner right knee is reaching for the floor. It does not have to touch. Gaze is to the ceiling or over to the right. Filling up your lower right belly with breath. Draw your gaze back through center. The knees will follow. With the left foot, find your mat. A gentle sway of the knees until you feel like you're in your neutral position with the hips and knees. Let the soles of the feet come to touch. The knees open up like a book, creating a diamond shape with your legs. This is a great place if you have yoga blocks at home. You can place those beneath your thighs for some added support. You can also use folded up pillows or a rolled up towel, just to allow this to be a bit more restorative. And you can simply let the knees hover in space as they surrender to gravity. Return to that slow rhythm of breath from the beginning of your practice, and out through your nose, filling your belly to the very bottom of your breath, emptying your lungs completely on the exhale. Where can you find softness? What are you still holding on to in your body? Are you clenching, flexing? Soften your jaw, your face. Start to reach your right arm up overhead. Using the left hand, draw the left knee through center and over to the right as you roll over onto your right side body. Come to land with your head on the right arm as a pillow. Draw your knees in close towards you. And let the left palm rest softly on the floor or on your body. Lying on your side here in fetal pose is a great alternative to Shavasana if you find it uncomfortable lying on your back. You can come here at any time throughout your practice when you feel the need for a bit of a break. feel ready in your own time, find your way up to tabletop. Your shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. Just start to take a couple sways from side to side. Sending one shoulder to your hip and then the other. Release to the back of your neck as your head falls heavy. Come through center, neutral spine. We'll move through a few cat and cows. Take a big breath in, belly drops, tailbone lifts, heart comes forward and up. Exhale, rounded spine, tuck your tailbone, gaze to your belly button. Inhale, cow pose. Belly drops as the heart comes forward and up. Exhale, scoop your tailbone, press firm with the hands, hollow your chest as you gaze to your belly. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Return to your neutral position. Come down onto your forearms. So as you lower down on your forearms, your hips are still over the knees. Shoulders are now over the elbows. Palms are on the floor in front of you with the arms roughly parallel to one another. From here, keep the elbows just as they are, but start to walk the palms of your hands out a little bit wider. So the elbows are in beneath the shoulders, the palms are towards the edges of your mat. Any discomfort in the shoulders at all here or any previous injury, please come out. You can always go back to the original tabletop version. Otherwise, we're going to move through a few cat and cows in this position. Take a big breath in, lift your tailbone, heart comes forward and up. On the exhale, scoop your tailbone around in your back. Hollow out the chest as you gaze to your belly. Inhale, cow-like back, lift your tailbone, heart draws forward and up. Exhale for cat, rounded spine. Really draw space between your shoulder blades as you look to your belly. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Either variation, find 3 more at your own pace. Coming up onto your hands at any time should you choose. Once you finish your 3, find your neutral. Hips are still over the knees. Start to slide your hands forward, arms are straight. Lower your heart towards the floor for puppy pose. If that's a little too much in the shoulders, you can always bend the elbows a little bit. If the heart and forehead reaches the mat, you can always bring the chin to the mat instead of the forehead. Keep your tailbone lifting high and continue to breathe. Gaze comes down to the mat if it's not already there. However it works for you. Start to rise back up to tabletop. Big toes come to touch, knees go wide. Shift your hips back to child's pose. Letting your hips rest softly on the heels, or they can hover above. You can always place a folded blanket or pillow beneath the hips for some support. Let your forehead rest on the floor or on a pillow or block. Maybe you choose to let this one be a little more passive. Maybe you walk the knees a little more narrow and send the arms back behind you. Just giving your shoulders an opportunity to soften. Walk your hands out in front of you. Rise back up to tabletop. Extend your right leg long behind you. Turn the toes to face the right. Step forward to the top right corner of your mat. Take as many steps as you need to get there. And then heel toe the right foot through center. Frame the right foot with your hands. You can have as much or as little bend in the back leg as you like, as long as you're feeling a stretch to the front of the left thigh. The toes on the back foot can be tucked or untucked, whichever feels best. You can always bring a pillow or a blanket beneath the knee for some support. Think about becoming active through your legs. Squeeze the inner thighs together as the outer hips reach out and back behind you. Maybe you stay with your hands on the floor, otherwise you can start to walk them up onto the right thigh. Lifting the heart up, gaze is forward. See if you can find some little 1-inch movements up and down with the hips. Moving really slowly here. As you exhale, see if you can lift up. As you inhale, sink down. Exhales to lift. Inhales to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. A little more challenging than what might feel natural to you here. Just trying to work through strengthening some of those muscles and then settle into your depth. One more big breath here. Option to reach up as you inhale. And exhale, frame your front foot. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Coming up onto the right heel, lift the right toes off the mat. As you shift the hips back, you're going to feel the right hip reach towards the left heel. Instead, can you draw the left hip towards it? And keep the right hip running central or slightly to the right. Don't worry so much about trying to touch your forehead to your shin. Instead, think about reaching your belly button beyond your heart. And the heart's reaching beyond your ankle. You can stay here centered, or if you'd like to play with a twist, you can walk the left hand to the outside of the right leg, coming up onto fingertips or onto your block. With the left fingertips on the floor, bring the right hand up onto your hip. Maybe open your heart up to the right side of the room. Can you keep those hips sinking towards the back of the mat? Lower the right hand, come back through center. Walk your hands forward to frame your front foot. Just take a moment to pause in your low lunge. We want the right knee facing the same direction as the right toes. And even if you have a lot of space and you're very open in the hips, I want to shorten the lunge here a little bit. So whether that means walking the left knee forward or walking the right heel back a little bit, bring a generous bend into both of your legs. So you're kind of coming towards having a 90-degree bend even in the back leg, regardless of how far you can stretch it out if you choose. With those nice generous bends in both knees, we'll start to take some hula hoop circle motions with the hips. Be really light on the toes of the right foot here. As you circle, we want the right toes to be able to follow the same direction of the knee if it needs to. Notice any areas of tension as you circle, where the circles may become jagged or uneven. And then circling in the opposite direction. Circles on this side. Find your center. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Step back. Let the right foot meet the left. Give you sways from side to side, just noticing difference from left to right. Tabletop pose. Preparing for the opposite side. So now that you know where we're going, if you choose, you can place something for extra cushion beneath the right knee. Especially if you're on a more dense surface. I'm on carpeting, so it's not so bad. We're going to extend the left leg behind. Turn your left toes to face the left side of the room. Step forward to the top left corner. Even if you have to reach back with your left hand and walk the foot forward, that's okay. Heel toe, the left foot through center. Just position yourself into a low lunge that feels good in your body. Have a nice wide stance of the legs, so about hip distance apart. You don't have to be walking on a tightrope here. Active legs, so whether the back toes are tucked or untucked, think about drawing the left heel back, the right knee forward, squeezing the inner hips together, outer hips reach out and back. And with that same activation, you can bring the hands up onto the thigh. Choosing stillness, where you can start to find those little up and down motions with the hips. Barely even visible. I'm going a little bit higher so that you can see it in the camera, but at home you probably wouldn't even notice the movement, just ever so subtly. Every inhale, lower. Every exhale, draw up. Inhale to soften, to lower into your depth. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. It's normal that that feels awkward to you. A lot of us breathe opposite to this normally. Doing your best to lift on the exhale. Settle into your depth. We're going to take one more big breath here. Option to inhale as you reach up. On the exhale, frame your front foot. Start to send your hips back as you walk your hands towards the middle of the mat, towards your knees or hip. Keep your hips centered so they're going to automatically shift over to the right. Bring them through the center. Think about drawing the left heel towards the back of the mat with the left hip, with the left heel's firmly rooted into the mat. Long spine, creating length from the tailbone to the top of your head, avoiding a cat-like back. If you have blocks, you may find it helpful to come up onto them with your fingertips. It just allows you a little more space, a little more openness. Option to move here into your twist, or you can stay as you are. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Fingertips to the floor or on a block. Keep your hips drawn left. And bring the left fingertips onto the left hip. Keep scooping the low ribs on the left, or on the right side rather, beneath you as you gaze left. Come back through center. Frame your front foot. Return to your lunge. Take a moment just to settle into your lunge first. And then we're going to shorten the lunge, either walking the back leg forward a bit to bring a generous bend into the knee, or you can walk the left foot back a little if that's easier for your body. A wide stance here, they don't have to be in line. Left knee continues to point the same direction as the left toes as you start to take hula hoop motions with the hips. Really isolating the movements to the hips here. You're going to find that when you do these circular motions, your body tends to always go the same direction first. We tend to be creatures of habit, and we'll often choose our dominant hand or dominant circle. So as we change directions here, you're going to find it feels more awkward. You may feel more tension or tightness. Taking just a few more circles in this direction. Find your center. Left hand comes to the inside of the left foot. Step back with the left foot to meet the right. Give your hips a sway from side to side to release any tension that may have developed. Let your big toes come to touch, the knees go wide apart. Shift your hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Allow your forehead to come to rest on the floor or on a block or pillow. Fingers are spread wide as they slide away from you, pressing firm through the palms of your hands. Stay heavy through the left hip as you start to walk the hands towards the top right corner of the mat. So we're still in that child's pose. We're just walking the hands over to the right. Keep your left hip reaching towards your left heel and allow your forehead to rest on the floor. Breathe space into your left side body. center. Take one full cycle of breath here in the center. Exhale, let it go. Walk the fingertips to the top left corner this time. The right hip is reaching towards the right heel. Feel space created between the right ribs, the right waist, and hip. Back through center. Full breath here. Let it go. Allow this child's pose to become passive. Bend through the elbows. Let the arms soften into the floor. Support beneath the hips and pelvis, behind the knees with pillows or blocks. Take a moment with your forehead resting on a block or the floor to just gently rock your head from side to side. Massaging your third eye, the center of your forehead. Stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system. Triggering your body and mind to relax. Then settle into stillness. And you can choose to finish your practice here in child's pose. Or if you prefer, you can return to your back in Shavasana. Whichever position that you choose, make sure that it is restful and comfortable. Resist temptation to end your practice. Allow yourself just a few more moments of stillness. Maybe closing your eyes. Regardless of the position that you've chosen, relax your jaw, your tongue, your shoulders and arms. Let go of all effort in your body, even the effort of breathing. Allow your body to return to its natural rhythm of breath. Simply become aware of its presence. Witness as the breath moves through your body, a gentle rise and fall as it passes by. This practice of stillness and of breath will continue to be yours for as long as you allow it to be. I encourage you to take just a few more moments in whatever pose you've chosen to really allow your body the opportunity to absorb the benefits of your practice. It is with such gratitude that I join you here in practice today and always. Namaste.